And you are as real as me and tomorrow and love. You know that this, whatever it is, cannot be captured and held. You know that there is no outside to this and therefore no inside. So, if there are no edges to this, is it a thing? As there is no getting outside of all this, whatever it is, then who or what could ever know what this is? But there can be an intuited knowing that this is not an it or a this, that there are no its outside of the languaging, these words that seem to lasso a bit of this unknown unknowable and create trees or skies or you or me or love. As every word seems to create a thing and all else that is not that thing. And if I ask you to tell me of your lover, stories may arise of what you did together and the stories he told, of the dew-filled morning when you dissolved into the sparkling. And these liquid memories will seem to caress a person into being, but they are only a fairy tale that also seems to caress a you into this storybook world of things and time and love. How can a story know it is a story? Love caresses itself through imaginary separation of words, of notes, of sound and silence into this musical light show, this ballet of lovers twirling through a dream of love. It is our own love that slays us and embraces us back into the dance as we hover, suspended between time and timelessness, this ever-arising, ever-dissolving kiss. Echoes slid through echoes and left not a trace. You cannot locate or capture the magic, as it is everything and nothing, everywhere and nowhere. This feeling of a kiss that once graced your lips as it smiled and consumed you, and dancing madly unraveled your heart into its own infinite embrace, into this mad, untamed, exquisite love that pours through my fingers and arcs across the screen, explodes in our chests as dawn graces the frozen ground, light pours shadows under the tangling roses, and my face in the window dissolves. The swirling words, the very description, the adornment that has nothing underneath or inside, seems to create a center, a persona surrounded by a world of things, as all things and others are painted simultaneously with these imaginary lines that create us, also separate us. So the seeing and feeling of no separation, no things to be separate or joined, and no one big thing that cannot be separated, leaves this astounding unknowing, the feeling of being suspended between time and timelessness, hovering between love and nothing at all. There is no looking for things to gather into a bouquet of understanding, all unutterably beautiful, flowering and wilting simultaneously, not looking for any concept like happiness or love. The seeker disappears. She never was anything but the illusion of other, better, more, and next. The longing for solidity, for knowing, for suitude, vanishes along with the one who longed for it. Yet somehow I am still here, etched with poems that slide through my fingers, seemingly longing to touch you, knowing I never can. And who can say where my story begins or ends? We are indeed each other. If you light the end of a stick on fire and whirl the stick around, is there an actual circle of fire? Is there a center if there is no circle? Is there anything captured by thought? Or is there simply this fleeting, flowing description, these words that continually create our world? This is a shared dream of separation, same learned words, the worded world where we live and love and die. And as life happens, you can you say, now is the beginning of a thought, and now is the end. or now is the beginning of a moment? Or is there no beginning or end that you can find, as you cannot step outside the thought dream that you are? Time is an illusion of separate events painted by thought. Tree is a wonderful idea, a label that creates things called trees, and indicates an entire world of things that are not trees, including an idea called you, separate from this tree. The word contains all kinds of trees, all sizes, deciduous and evergreen and cactus trees. It contains more ideas like bark and roots and elegant branches reaching for the sky, or maybe the sky is reaching down, sliding in between your fingers, into your eyes, into your heart, where love waits. How marvelous that this languaging creates trees and wind and sun and sky and you and me and love. As we appear and dance only in this world of things, yet we feel we are separate from other things, and as we are words, this is so. And this is the great aloneness that you perhaps have tried to run away from your entire life. There is also a feeling, a gnawing dissonance, that there really is no solidity, no actual things under the web of thought, no unchanging screen upon which your world is painted, no unchanging thing under the description, the memories that paint you, no ground of being, no core, no identity outside of thought. And what would that mean if there is no you, and all whom you have loved are also ideas, memories that paint the story of you and love? And what would it mean if love were an idea, if meaning is an idea? Clouds soaring, echoes softly pouring through my fingers, my eyes, these words that paint an edgeless heart beating, reaching out to touch. We are tattered remnants of a sunset, dreaming of colors it left upon the sea. All stories seem to have a beginning and end, but beginning and end are part of the story, the fairy tale that has no substance, yet is simply the beauty it sings, the flowers it paints, cascading through rainbows, blooming and receding, yet no actual flower remains. Nothing can be plucked and held and treasured forever. The magic enchants itself. It lies in the impermanence you fear and long for. There is only a tale of separate flowers and colors, and petals gently falling into the softness of your touch. Or is it the sky into which you fell long ago, with one foot on the ground? You are the longing to let go, but you cannot. How can a dream release itself? The recognition that all these words, all this description is utterly empty, empty even of emptiness, is sublimely bittersweet, and yet it feels like love unravels the dream it paints, and there is floating, as this perfect kiss, a constant union of what was never apart. Love sliding through love, as it is all love, and there is no love, and no contradiction is felt. All is seamless beingness. There is no all. A sublime perfection of there being no perfection or imperfection. And you reach out to touch the shimmering, and reflections pour through your fingers, your eyes, your teeth, your tongue, your heart, and the thunder of your nakedness explodes the barriers between the song and the singing, between the listening and the music, between the seen and the seeing. And all that left is the shimmering. That is all there ever was. Baseless, sourceless reflections like a magical illusion, an enchantment, a dream spell of words, substanceless echoes pouring through their own absence. And you may look for this seamlessness, this love, this magic that seems to elude you, this wondrousness of which I sing, but you will never find it. It is not hiding in deep, secret places that only your heart can touch. It does not wait for you, just underneath this very breath. It is this breath, this heart song, these tendrils of meaningless words that vibrate an illusion, a story of seamlessness arising and dissolving simultaneously. Love sings, and we cannot help but listen to our own heart. It pours sky into sky and floods the hills and valleys of our bodies with a feeling beyond sound and silence. A kiss of heaven swallows the depths of our aloneness, enunciating the words that brought us to the edge of madness, and leaves us naked, stripped of all knowing, all solidity, all ideas of more and next, drown in this seamless beingness, this love without other, this space without space. At the edge of time and timelessness, your heart skips a beat, and wind takes your breath away. Sky falls into the wind that plays on the shores, where seabirds swoon down to kiss their reflection, and we twirl and play in the flight of our own echoes.